So the next thing I wanted to talk about is actually a really cool electronic vehicle. It's called the Rivian, and they're actually making an electric truck and an SUV. Now, this is cool because Tesla has had some really cool roadsters. I mean, it
Yep.
looks so good. And my favorite thing about electric cars is how fast they accelerate. I mean, you're going 0
Awesome.
to 60 in like 3 seconds. Now, the
Yep.
cool thing about this Rivian SUV is they're saying even though it's a pickup truck, you can still go 0 to 60, which is 100 kilometers an hour, in 3 seconds. Imagine
Wow.
that. Wouldn't that be crazy if you were off-roading and just
Yep.
punching it up a hill? I mean, it could be so much fun. The other great thing about an SUV is there's plenty of room to put that battery in the back.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure why this isn't more of a thing right now. Maybe because it's so heavy. So they must have some way to make the body of the SUV light so that it's more aerodynamic and able to with the electric motor. But it's no surprise that these things are popping up. Have you heard of any other SUVs that are or trucks that are being made all electric, not hybrid?
Trucks, there are a few rumors, but SUVs, tons. In
Hmm.
fact, just about every electric vehicle that was announced back in October, they're all SUVs. So Porsche has one, Audi has one, BMW has one, their Volvo has like two or three. So they're all announcing their SUVs first, and it's because SUVs have a higher margin, a higher return
Oh,
than the
yeah,
smaller cars. And
sure.
so that's why just about every new electric car you hear about is an SUV. Now, the truck is neat because you're going to have that flatbed in the back and it's utilitarian. And Elon Musk, in fact, has been talking about a truck and he's ready to reveal it probably in March. And he says it looks like it's something from, oh, what's the Harrison Ford movie? Blade Runner. He says it
Oh,
looks like it's from
cool.
Blade Runner. So I think trucks are cool. I
I
think it would
thought
be
you were going to
great.
say The Client or Pelican Brief.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Pelican. Ooh.
cool, the 1990s. No, he
It
was in
looks,
Fugitive. Sorry, I'm getting those all
yeah.
confused.
So,
Um,
anyways, it
yeah.
sounds like electric vehicles are here to stay, but to me, the problem is the infrastructure. If you have a utilitarian vehicle like a truck that's going to be out in the boonies, you need to be close somewhere to charge up. And there's really no charging stations out by your farm or out where you're going to be using trucks. And so, what do you
Exactly.
think about the infrastructure?
Well, the infrastructure is tricky, and hopefully these farmers will be smart enough to put solar power on their barns, and then they could charge it there. I want to go through some really cool stats on this truck. It's got a 400-mile range. So if you're living on a farm, even 100 miles away from the nearest city, you've got
Hmm.
400 miles that you can go back and forth. And if you've got a full day of hauling lumber or whatever it is, I think 400 miles is enough, don't you? I mean, unless,
Absolutely. 400 miles is more than enough.
like I said before, it goes from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It supports over-the-air updates. It seats five and has four motors. So it's really exciting. This Rivian is going to ship in late 2020. The truck is going to be available in either 180 kilowatts hours or 136 battery pack.
Hmm.
So it looks like there's a lot of different battery options. So they say that the R1S SUV will be delivered in 2021 and that both vehicles will ship with level 3 autonomy. And autonomy means that it'll be able to drive itself in certain situations. So this is all really impressive, but it could just be one more excuse for your friends to ask you to help them move.
Yeah. Well, I got a question. I've never heard of Rivian before. And there's been a lot of companies like Faraday that started out with a bang and everybody was excited about Faraday. And now where are they? Right. And, lots of companies try the electric vehicle. What do you know about Rivian? Are they actually a contender to Tesla? Do you think they could do it?
There's a possibility, but one thing that strikes me funny is why isn't GM doing this? Or why isn't Ford doing this? The people that are all American that have been in the business for 100 years. Don't they have the capital to be able to back this up, especially since they were bailed out in 2008 and they're in the black
Yep.
again, like,
Well, absolutely, they have the capital. I mean, GM already has the Chevy Bolt, and they're actually making a ton of Chevy Volt. So a lot of these big companies are doing electric vehicles. They just haven't announced any trucks. Just about every company has a car because it's an easy platform to do. And it's also lighter so that your batteries can take you farther. And then most of them have an SUV where you get less distance and you're not as fast. But the truck is, I think, the next thing to come. And for me, it's really about infrastructure. But if you can get 400 miles to a charge, sweet.
Sign me up, right?
Yep.
It's all really exciting, and these are things that would be on my shopping list. I think I would definitely get a truck with all electric.